First of all, my name is Tijana and I'm from Serbia, from Belgrade. And I would like to present my country. And first of all, as you can see, Serbia population has around 7 million people. And you can't see it, but this capital city is Belgrade and it's around 1 million people. This is our flag and we have 3 colors and bird and it's kind of interesting. Then I would say that Serbia has 8 surrounding countries. Hungary, Romania, Bulgaria, Macedonia, Albania, Montenegro, Bosnia and Herzegovina and Croatia. And the interesting thing is that all of those countries are like, we all speak the same language, but just different accent, except of course Hungary, Bulgaria and Albania. Like, we can understand each other, but it's just kind of like different accent, and that's a different thing. But also maybe some of you never heard before about Serbia, but you heard about Kosovo because in St. Louis it's a lot of Muslim people. And I don't want to talk a lot about that because honestly I don't know a lot, but probably some of you remember the time 1999 bombarding and things. So that was a really difficult time for Serbia, and like people died almost every day, and that's just like because some countries, for example the United States, wanted to take like that part of Serbia, Kosovo, and obviously Serbia doesn't want to take Kosovo, so it's because it was war and things. So that was 1999 and bombarding and a really difficult time for Serbia. What else? Yeah, and I would like to say that Kosovo was always part of Serbia, and I hope it will always be.
But they claimed their independence in '08 though, right?
No. They it's confusing because a lot of people think people wanted people from Albania now trying to take part of Kosovo, and that, as you can see that part here, but because of that it's always conflict between Serbia and Albania, but it's still Serbia. Kosovo is still Serbia and it will always be. We will never let it go.
That's what, if you say so.
Yeah. Then this is world map, and as you can see, we are somewhere here and somewhere here. Yeah. And Serbia is that little country, in red, and you see how large United States is and how Serbia small is, on this map. Then. Okay, Serbia is a country in Southeast Europe, Balkan Peninsula, with huge mountains with ski resorts to the south. Also, Belgrade is home to the architecture Kalemegdan Park. This here is Kalemegdan Park, and it's the oldest park in Belgrade. The site of ancient fortress held successfully by the Roman, Byzantine, Ottoman empires. Floating nightclubs on Danube and Sava rivers are a distinctive part of city's nightlife. And yeah, as I told you, this is really interesting because people going over there to take a rest, to think about something, like people who are in love, to watch over the river, love, and that's really interesting to see because it's the oldest thing in Belgrade. Then we have Yugoslavia. After First World War, 1980, Serbia, as a winner, accepted to become a union with Croatia and Slovenia, and that's how Yugoslavia started to exist. In 1991, Yugoslavia started to fall apart because Croatia and Slovenia wanted to be independent countries. Also, the important thing is that because Serbia was winner in First World War, countries which helped to Serbia was all Western countries, for example France, United States and Russia. And maybe some of you asked why Bosnia and Herzegovina is here. That's because after Second World War, Bosnia and Herzegovina started to exist. Before Second World War, that country doesn't exist, and this map is can see here, is after Second World War. Then Serbians are Christians, Orthodox, like the same religion like people from the United States. And the thing which is sometimes different, like we're Orthodox and we just have Orthodox churches. So like differences between Orthodox and Catholic people is that we use these three fingers like to present like Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, and Catholic people uses two fingers. And the thing like people are really confused here because the Julian calendar celebrating Christmas on January 7th, and Gregorian calendar, which you use, celebrating Christmas on December 25. That's different around 2 weeks. And also I would like to say that we don't have like gifts for Christmas. We don't go from house to house and give candy to other kids. We just celebrating that like custom in family. Like for example, I celebrate every January with my mom, with my dad, with my aunt, with my uncle, grandma and grandpa, and we have different food on that day. We never eat meat. Actually, we eat just fish. Anything which is animal, like origin, just fish. And like we use wine to present blood of Jesus, and then as you can see here, this is like Christmas cake. I can translate for real how we say that in Serbia, of course, but this is Serbian Christmas cake. And as you can see, like people here taking a pieces of that cake. And my grandma, and that's of course people doing that, like my grandma always put like dinar, that's our currency, and she put inside and who get money. That means that that person will have money for the rest of the year, which is not true. Yeah, that's a really interesting thing for Christmas. Then my favorite thing, of course. In Belgrade, every night is Saturday night. Everyone's is ready for a party all the time. People all around the world coming to Belgrade, and I will show you that's true. That's really true. People like young people, old people stay up all night with great music and great fun. Also, the most important thing is that we don't have a limit like 21 years. Of course, you already know that. So people can buy alcohol like no matter when, no matter like how. They will not ask for your ID for anything. You can just go to the store and ask like, give me some drink, and they will give you. There is no problem for that. So that's the kind of different than in the United States. Then you probably, some of you, maybe basketball players here, heard for a man in yellow shirt. That's Vlade Divac. He was basketball player. Like he started in a really small club in Serbia. Then he moved to Los Angeles Lakers, and then he played for, I think, Sacramento Kings, and after that NBA, and at the end he come back at Lakers. The second picture is Novak Djokovic. Maybe some of you heard about him. He's #1 tennis player in the world. He played against Roger Federer, Rafael Nadal, and he's around 7 years #1. And you should know about this man here. That's Nikola Tesla, and he invented alternating current. And I mean, he's really important science, and I think people should know about him. Then those are two beautiful mountains. I had house on that, you see green Tara. I had house over there, and almost every summer I'm going with my family, with my friends, no matter who, I'm going over there like to stay like around 5 or 6 days, like just to take fresh air or something. It's really beautiful to see. And the other picture is like, as you can see, like ski ski resort. You can go to skiing, and I usually go just with my dad because my mom is really slow. But it's really beautiful. Then, Serbian traditional food. First of all, if you ever come to Serbia, you will first get this food. Of course, we have the same food. You can eat wherever you want, like whatever you want to take, you can get. But like if you want to try Serbian food, people will serve to you this. And I have here some of those things that you will try later. But this is like kind of Serbian traditional food. Then this is the lake in Serbia. I usually spend my summer here if I'm in Belgrade, of course. Like I'm going over there to swim. Then you have like cafes here. You can go to drink like coffee or something. And the interesting thing, like that cafe at the night became a club, so you can stay all day and just then go to club at the night. This is Knez Mihajlova, the main street in Belgrade. As you can see, the beautiful like buildings over there, like tourists coming to take the pictures. It's really old and beautiful to see. This is Kadarlia, the oldest street in Belgrade. Like it's like interesting because like Serbia was under Turkish around 500 years, and like we have like the most our food is origin from Turkey. So like that's because was Serbia under 500 years under Turkish people. So like the interesting is because on like down this street, like Turkish people walk in some wars like 500 years ago, and that's kind of really interesting and old street. This is Seven Wonders of the World, Devil's Town, and honestly I never been here, but it's look really weird, but interesting to see, and I would like to see that. This is monastery, Anastasia, and the interesting thing about Serbia is because she has 212 monasteries, and it's the most thing like in the world that Serbia have, and this is the most beautiful monastery in Serbia. And then, thank you for coming. If you want to pay $1,000 for a ticket, I would love to see you in Serbia. Now, I would like to play some video about Serbia. It's like less than 2 minutes, but to see how it's really look and to present like everything like.
This is Belgrade, the dazzling capital of Serbia. People from all over the world are attracted to this city for its charm and beauty. From the quiet cafes to the sparkling nightlife, Belgrade is a city that never sleeps.
It's one of the most fun cities in the whole world.
It has magnificent architecture, peaceful parks, splendid restaurants with authentic Balkan food, remarkable art, electrifying museums. A city between east and west, with a turbulent history to tell. But what makes Belgrade the most appealing is the spirit of its people. Belgrade has the most interesting men and the most enigmatic women. Some of the best sportsmen in the world are from Belgrade. Anyone who experiences Belgrade will undoubtedly fall in love with it. Welcome to my city.
That's what we. Oh,
Okay. Are you ready for a question and answer now?
yes.
So you can ask Tijana questions about Serbia, about cultural differences, what she's experienced living in the U.S. You can ask her anything as long as it's appropriate and it wouldn't make you uncomfortable being asked that question. So.
Do they have McDonald's?
Of course.
Where is
Everyone has McDonald's. Like, yeah, we have
So
it.
when NATO bombed bombed in 1999, did they stay away from Belgrade? Did they kind of just go after military targets and stuff? I mean, or did they bomb in Belgrade city?
They bombed like all around Serbia, like the most horrible thing was like closest to Kosovo. Belgrade was really bad, but when you go down to the Kosovo, that was the worse than Belgrade. Yeah, that was the bad time.
So they bombed Pristina?
Yes, they bombed. Yeah.
Okay, do we have any more questions before we go into food?
What's another difference between the Julian calendar and the Gregorian besides just Christmas? Is just holidays different, or is
We don't
the
have
actual days different?
Thanksgiving. We don't celebrate Thanksgiving. Also, what else? Like, I think that's all. Like, it's just like there is no a lot of countries who still have Julian. Like Serbia and maybe like 3 or 4 more. I'm not sure which countries exactly, but I think like 5 countries in the world still uses Julian calendar. So that's why we celebrating like Christmas 2 weeks after you, and we don't celebrate Thanksgiving. And I think that's all. Like,
Do you, what are the other countries that use the Julian calendar? Do you know?
I don't know, but I think those countries from Europe, not from those are countries from Europe. Yeah.
T, what about the educational system? So what year do you start school and home?
Like our high school, like is the same like here. We started I think 14 years. When I was 14, we started, and we have 4-year education. Is the same like in the United States, I think, which is different. We don't have athletic program like parallel with high school. Like you can play, like I played volleyball like beside my high school, like in club, not for my high school. That's a different like the United States. And also faculties, we don't have like really universities or colleges. We have faculty, and that means that you can choose like law, you can choose like economy, you can choose math, you can choose wherever you want, wherever you're interested in. But it's different because you also have 2 semesters. But the thing, you don't have classes. You just, if you want, you can come to listen to professor. If you don't want, you don't have to. But after first semester, you get a huge book, and you have to learn all of that. And then you will sit in front of your teacher, and he can ask you whatever he wants, and you have to answer 3 questions. If you don't, you're out. if you answer, that's the difference. Like we don't have real classes. We don't go to school like after high school, like during universities or faculties. We just have like faculty and 2 semesters, but like you don't have to go if you don't want.